Welcome once again to Octane Mobile Gaming. It's that time again when we do our possible deck combination. Welcome to Octane Mobile Gaming. We're gonna jump right in and we're gonna have a look at the cards that I've got. So the cards that I've got so far, I've got 2 copies of the support card, 1 copy of the ultra rare, and 2 copies of the main card. Did go up to tier 4 because I wanted to see if I could manage to get the Master Collection card, but I didn't. So this is how things are looking at the moment. Just like last week, I still just need the week before last, really, I still only need the Master Collection card to get the shiny hero. So I'm waiting on the 1000 gem vault to come out, and I'll see if I can manage to get something from it. Did go ahead for the first time in a long time and get myself 1000 gem. I topped myself up 1000 gem and went to the 4th tier. Still got a bit of the gems left back. Just collected my VIP gems, so I'm up to 995 gems. Should collect 300 more tomorrow and 300 more on Saturday, so that will give me 1500 gems. So I should be able to purchase the 1000 gem vault if they still have the 1000 gem vault, because I noticed the 1000 gem vault did not come out today. So let's jump right in and we're gonna have a look at the cards. That's my Slayer deck, my Fire Slayer deck, and the Fire Slayer deck does work against most of the bosses because the Fire ultimate form is actually a noble killer. The only thing about the deck, it will not have the event bonus. You will get the affinity bonus and you will get the kill skill bonus, but you will not get the event bonus. So it does work well. I used it to get to level 6 of the ultimate bosses. It's the one that I was using on most of my overkill bosses, ultra kill bosses, and I use it even against the legend bosses, so it works quite well. So if you've got the Slayer deck and you haven't got the current deck, you can use your Slayer deck. The only thing is, if you prestige it, it might not do as much damage as it will do against the bosses now before you get to prestige. So I'm thinking I'll probably go up to prestige 1, but I will not go any further because I don't think my decks are able to do much damage. I did try out this combination using Servant of Savagery, but because he produces rainbow gems, there is no way of overwriting enough of the rainbow gems, because what will happen is you will create your 20 power gem freeze passively, and then you have to activate the Servant of Savagery and he will create quite a few columns of power gem ones, which are rainbow gems. You can try to use your support cards, your support card, if you've got one, to overwrite the gems, but it would only overwrite 4. Your ultra rare will overwrite on upgrade 4 as well, so that's only 8 power gems. When you activate your main card, which I've got 2 copies, it will only overwrite 4 as well, so that's not a lot of power gems, if you see what I mean. This one I tried it out this one works just a bit better because I've got 3 support cards, 1 ultra rare, so I can override quite a bit more of the rainbow gems. That's approximately 16 power gems I can actually override. So we're going to get rid of this one, and we're gonna see if we can find a card in the deck. So we're gonna stick with our commander cards only. I have got Stone Tech Matriarch, but I'm not gonna use that one because I want to make a deck that's affordable and obtainable. You can obtain a copy of the Master Collection card or the ultra rare on the first 3 tiers of the pack, so that makes the ultra rare obtainable and it makes the Master Collection card more obtainable as well. But the ultimate form is a bit more difficult because you have to obtain 2 cards. As you can see, I've only obtained 1 so far. So we have got an array of cards that we can use. What we could use 4 support card and 1 ultra rare, which will get us up to our 20 stacks quite quickly. But we want to see if we got any cards in our deck that we can add that will help us out. And one of the cards that you could add is Thought. She will create 4 power gem 2s in addition to your 20 power gem 3s, so that will give you 25 power gems, and then you can just fill the board out with your support cards. Or you could try Reforge Lepora. She will create 3 power gem 1s. So if you've got Lepora Reforge, she will create a few power gems as well. You could use, this card is a good card, Soul Thrasher, but bear in mind Soul Thrasher is intensity dependent, so it will take quite some time to build the intensity because you will have to generate your intensity using relics. Or you can add the Pumpkin Queen or the Baleful Bride, but the Baleful Bride is a Slayer and so is the Pumpkin Queen. They'll generate the intensity but they won't do much damage. So that in that case, it's a no. You could add, in addition to Thought, you could add Ra the Divine, and Ra is actually one of the cards that are in the event as well. So he's times 10. So what we could do is swap out one of our support cards for Ra. And like myself, if you've got 2 copies of Ra, which I've got 2 copies of Ra, but one is, that's the second copy. The second copy is up to 5-star. So if you've got 2 copies of Ra, you could add 2 copies of Ra. If you've got Thought, if you've got 2 copies of Thought, even better. In this case, Ra will do a bit more damage than Thought because he's part of the event. There's a few more cards in the deck, but they won't produce as much power gem and they won't do as much damage. So we won't look much further for any more cards because Crimson Vengeance is another card that you could use. It's part of the event as well. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and we'll make a deck based on Crimson Vengeance. So we'll use 2 copies of Crimson Vengeance, and we'll go ahead and we'll use 2 copies of the support card and 1 copy of the ultra rare, or you could use 3 support cards, depends on what you've got. And next thing we'll do, we'll use the relics for this particular event. So I did manage to get quite an array of relics. I've got 3 copies of the rare and 2 copies of the main. So I was lucky this week with relics, and Master Collection card is what I really would want. So that's our deck that we just created. It's based on Crimson Vengeance, which will create power gems based on how much gems is on the board. So this is her battle skill. She will create 1 power gem 1 plus 1 additional fire power gem 1 for every 5 fire gems that's on the board. So we will create quite a bit of fire gems on the board, and we'll want to fill out those spaces before we activate Crimson Vengeance, so she can produce as much power gems as possible. The maximum amount that she can create is 8 power gems. And that's our second deck that we just created, and we're gonna showcase this one. We're gonna see what this one is like, because as I said, it doesn't really work that well. And we're gonna showcase that one and that one. So we're gonna jump right in, and we're gonna go up against the guild bosses are not that high, so we'll go up against a legend boss using none other than my main combination. So it's quite quick and it's quite powerful. Not very powerful because we haven't got the ultimate form to give us the kill skill. So as you can see, I've already got 5 persistence, and that is because of the relic. Now we're up to 13. So the relic actually generates a bit of persistence, but it generates persistence up to a maximum of 15 stacks. So after 15 stacks, it doesn't generate anymore. So we're up to 20 already. And that's 4 turns, and we just need 4 turns for our expiration. So what I want to do, I want to save as much of my power gems on the board as possible. So I'll match gems of affinity. There you go, and then I just activate from right to left. And the reason why I still activate my 2 support cards is just in case I've created any power gems of another affinity, it will overwrite them. So that's it. Let's look at our overkill. Our overkill was 122 billion, so quite powerful. If we had the ultimate form, it would be even more powerful. So we're gonna have a look at what this one can do. As I said, it will not have the event bonus, but it will have the affinity bonus, and up against a legend boss you will not get the killer bonus, but it is still relatively powerful. So what we want to do with this one, we want to wait on the passive of the 4 cards, the 3 Master Collection cards and the ultra rare, and their passive will give us 2 power gem 4s each. There you go, that's the passive that just kicked in, and we'll just activate from left to right. I neglected to activate my second ultimate form. I think it's becoming a habit, but you could activate that one, take the hit, she will create power gem 4s as well, and then you'll get quite a bit more power gem 4s. Let's look at the damage output on that one. You got 36 billion overkill, which for a Slayer deck is quite good. Next up, I'm gonna show you this one. This one doesn't really work, but it's good to show you decks that work and decks that don't work. It's not always good to just show you decks that actually work, and you never get to see decks that doesn't work. So it's gonna take us a bit longer to get up to our maximum persistence. So up to 11. 13. Next activation will take us up to 20. The only good thing about having Savagery on the combo is that if we were going up against a boss that requires that kill skill, you'll have that kill skill active. Apart from that, it's not really beneficial to have the card on the deck. It's difficult to talk and play at the same time because you can't concentrate on what you're doing. So here we go, we're gonna get our, there you go, our 20 gems. They're overwritten, and if we go that way, as you can see, I've still got a lot of off affinity power gems on the board because we can't override enough of them because we haven't got the cards to override enough of them, and that was the problem with that particular deck. You did not have the card or cards to override as much of those gems as you would like. It did do 59 billion overkill, far more than the Slayer deck, but the Slayer deck is it's relatively a far more powerful deck, but because it's not within a Slayer event and it hasn't got the killer bonus as well. But if we went up against a boss that required the killer bonus, then you would see its effectiveness against that particular boss. Okay, so we're gonna try out this one. If we had a card on the deck that actually created Power Gem 4s, then this deck will be far more powerful than it is at the moment. But I'm thinking, what card can we add to the deck to generate Power Gem 4s? And the only cards that I've got that actually create Power Gem 4s at the moment is our Slayers. Alright, so we're up to our 20 stacks of persistence, so we're gonna wait on it to expire, which should be on this turn. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna activate from right to left. There you go, a full board of power gems. So Thought is actually putting out a lot more damage output than Ra. Let's see the overkill, 75 billion overkill, so it's vastly more powerful than the Slayer deck and the Savagery combination. So let's go ahead and look at our Crimson combination and see how well our Crimson combination actually works. So it's about trying to put together decks that will generate quite a bit of damage. So to generate that damage, you're mainly focusing on the damage output of the cards and their ability to generate as much power gems as possible, because the game is now focused mainly on power gem production. A long time ago, many moons ago, it used to be if you can create gems on the board. Now it's not just gems, it's more about power gems. So having a card that actually spawned gems was relatively good. Relics at that time did not really give you power gems, they gave you gems. So we're gonna wait on persistence to expire. While doing that, we need to try and keep as much of our power gems on the board as possible. So one more match and it should expire. There we go. So we want to fill the board out first and foremost, and because the board is filled, Crimson Vengeance will give us 8 power gem respectively. Let's see the damage output. 35, 21, 21, 1.8. So Crimson Vengeance isn't giving us a lot of damage output, even though she's part of the event. 76 billion, so it's relatively the same amount of damage output as the one using Thought and Ra. So depending on what cards you have, you can get Ra from the five-star collection. Is one of the cards you can get. You can get Crimson Vengeance as well. You can get that stupid one, foot something, can't remember exactly what it's called. I think it's absolute rubbish card. Anyway, and this one, Flame Foot, doesn't really do much. Attack for 500% of attack, put 5,000 for every 5-star. New card, no wonder I don't like it. It's a new card. Haven't got enough dust to craft a master collection. I need 5,600 dust. I'm almost halfway through the collection, and the collection only has about 3,600 dust you can collect anyway. The rest of the dust you would probably have to collect it from the vault, so that's not gonna happen. My best bet is to see if I get it in the 1,000 gem vault. Not doing too bad. I'm at 90th position, trying to get up to prestige 1, and I'll stay with prestige 1 and see how well I get on. So there we have it. Those are some of the deck combo ideas that I've got. Hopefully the information is good. I forgot to put the link to the Facebook and the Insta in the link below, but I'll try and do it with this one. If not, it will be on my next video. But until then, like, subscribe, please leave a comment below, tell me what you think of the content, tell me if it's helpful. Until next time, peace and enjoy the event. Bye.